This started a long time ago, about 1.5 miles west of Templeton, by Shorty and Lorene Sextro. They had 5 girls and 2 boys, and to save the farm and to feed their kids and clothe their kids, Lorene made the best rye that there was in the surrounding counties. My brother Chuck, she taught allegedly how to make it, and my brother Chuck allegedly taught me everything that she taught him. And remember, this is all allegedly because I wouldn't do anything illegal. So we were doing a lost art that hardly anybody does anymore or knows how to do. Her husband Frank, or well known as Shorty, wrote his name, and you know how old Germans wrote with the S backwards, wrote his name across, and the burn mark from the flute goes right through it. Well, that's where Lorene cooked the small batch, and that's still down there today at Augie's farm. Frank and his family were taking 15 barrels to the Manning Railroad to ship out to Chicago, and they got met halfway there, and they were told by their other family members that the feds were there waiting for them, so not to go or they're going to get arrested. So they came home and hid it on the farm, and we have sniffing dogs that were trained with our wood and our whiskey to find the alcohol, and that's how we found the still out at Augie's place. I mean, it's history in the making. 2 years ago, I had an aorta dissect with an aneurysm, and it blew, and I can't work. There's probably like 5 of us left that are still alive that know how to do this the old way. So I taught these guys everything I know, and I just come down, drink coffee and bullshit and tell stories. So Max is a master distiller, and he oversees the whole place, and Alec does all the mash, bottling, labeling, proofing. They are my proteges. They do they're learning, they're doing great, and that's going to keep this best tasting rye alive instead of letting it die out like a lot of the other great products have.
Like you said, there's only about 5 people that know the recipe, so teaching me and Alec is really special that we get to learn this, and someday we'll pass it on to somebody else, and it'll be something that lasts forever.
It's been a real honor being able to learn this recipe and figuring out all the steps there is to it. And it takes a lot to make sure everything is done correctly. And we do everything truly by hand, and no spirit out there puts more care and love into every single bottle than we do.
These guys make it just like she did. We get all the products from Carroll County except for the bottles and the barrels. It's done just the way they did 100 years ago. I'm not saying new technology is not awesome, because it is, but sometimes the old school stuff, you can't beat it. I mean, this is the real shit. This is done the way it was done, exactly the way Lorene made it, and it was famous. It went all over to Kansas City, Chicago, Illinois, Omaha, Iowa. There is no better. You know, I can't take credit for any of it. I just kept alive something that, allegedly, I kept alive something that there's no better than. This is the real shit. It's not fabricated, it's not made up stories. When you drank this back in the old days, it's exactly the way it tasted then. And that's what I'm proud of.